Hello Wichita students, my name is Zerrin Oelze and I teach science at McLean Science and Technology Magnet Elementary School here in Wichita. Today I get to show you how to do just a fun science experiment that you can do at home. We're going to make a parachute using a piece of paper towel, or you can use a napkin, whatever you have at home. And when you take your paper towel, I'm just going to pull a piece off of mine, and I'm just going to cut this in half so that I have a square shape rather than a rectangle shape. Now I've got two, so you can do this with a friend or a brother or sister or cousin or someone at your house. At this point, you can take your markers or crayons and you can draw a design on the top of yours if you want to. I put WPS, and hopefully you know that stands for Wichita Public Schools. I put that on this one. But you can make any kind of design or drawing that you want to put on your parachute. You can also do that at the end if you want to. So I'm going to turn my parachute upside down. This is the top of it. And I need string, and if you don't have string at home, you can use yarn. If you don't have that, you could take a rubber band and cut it in half, so you have something to use. But I cut 4 pieces of string, and these are 18 inches long. You can experiment with different lengths. I'm going to take one end of my string and put it in one corner of my square. You do need tape, so I'm going to add some Scotch tape, and I'm going to just tape down that one end in the corner. I'm going to leave the other end loose, kind of just sitting in the middle. Then I'm going to take my second piece of string and do the same thing in the next corner, and I will continue to do that in each corner until all 4 of my strings are taped on. Now I'm going to turn mine a little bit and take my third piece of string, tape it on, and lastly my 4th piece of string and tape that one on. Now I have all of my strings taped in the corners. I'm going to pick each string up by the other end, and I'm going to put those ends together. I have to get all 3 of them, and now all 4 of them together. There we go. Now if you like to tie knots, you can tie a knot in these 4 strings. If you don't like to tie knots, you can take another piece of tape and wrap it around. I kind of like to tie knots, so I'm going to make a loop with my finger in the middle. Then I'm going to tuck that extra piece of tail through that loop when I slide my finger out, and I have a knot. Now that's going to keep all 4 of my strings together. Now my parachute is almost ready to fly, but not quite, because if you ever hear of a parachute, what goes on this end? Usually a passenger. And when I go to put my paper clip on, it works best if I just put the string through the paper clip, and then I can either tie another knot with that paper clip, or I can tape it again at that point. So once you have your passenger on, your parachute is ready to fly. Now this passenger does not weigh very much, so we're going to see how our parachute flies with one passenger. Oops, and I'm in the way. So we'll back up and we'll try that again. Okay. This parachute, our Wichita Public School parachute, has 2 paper clips attached, and I wanted to see what would happen if I put a little more weight on it. So we're going to see what happens with this one. 3, 2, 1. And that one had a much better journey down to the ground. Our napkin parachute that I made at home, I'm going to open it up, and it has a Lego man on. He's a little heavier than my paper clips, but my napkin's a little bigger. This is kind of a really big napkin. So for him, we're going to see what happens. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and if our table wasn't in the way, I think he probably would have had a pretty good coast down to the ground. So have fun at home. Try different passengers on your parachute. You can try different cloths for your parachute. You can even use fabric if you have it. Napkins, paper towels, whatever. You can try different sizes for the canopy part. That's what the napkin is called, the canopy. Try different passengers and see which one works best. One more thing I want to tell you. You can also take something and put it on the floor to make it like a landing pad. So if I put this down on the floor, I might want to see if I can get my parachute to land right on the landing pad, or how close it will come to the landing pad. Ooh, that one had a very nice descent, but it was really far. I could measure how far it lands away and try it several times, see if I can get it closer. Maybe I need to move my landing pad. So anyway, have fun. There's lots of different variations you can do with making parachutes.